Hello, wonderful ULOP watchers, and welcome back to the Super Mega Happy Fun Time. Adam needed to have a nap after work because it was super fun Thursday stream.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly more tired intro this time.
This is Monster Energy Drink, and it tastes just delightful. So in about half an hour, you'll see me hit my second monster win.
Sounds great.
Good times.
Can't wait for that.
I've
God.
already sank back an entire Monster Mango Loco. I am wired, vibing.
Boy. So roughly how long till you crash then?
Let's find out. If you suddenly see me like pull this face halfway through, just like when you see the resting bitch face, that's when.
Love it. So those who joined us last week will remember that we had a slightly different game, a split party game, with half of the party playing their normal characters who went on a little adventure to get back some armor, and then the other half of the party had turtled up and were defending a grove and red had cast druid grove, and they were hiding for the evening. So as last time, we will have, instead of just having 3 players, the other 3 players will be coming in and playing some of my wonderful NPCs.
Yay.
And Catherine, would you just like to say how many hit points you have?
No, I don't want to say that.
Brilliant.
You made us all very sad.
I've got 35.
35 hit points.
Yeah.
Are you a child?
I just want to point out that
Hedgehog.
Bronwyn last week after that smash is on 35.
Oh,
That was
meant
where
to be.
she was at after being
Wow.
thoroughly squashed into the floor. by
Does
that
it make
night.
you feel glad that you're not playing the class you're currently playing this week every week?
Yes. yes, it does.
Brilliant. So, just because it's been a little while, I'll do a reminder for the Grove. You still have the feeling, call it joy, but contentment going through you, Red, as you stand not on this unhallowed ground that you've been on for most of the time in Barovia. The grass beneath your feet is now green. The trees around you are still, moving unnaturally. Apart from 4. You feel secure here. The spell you've cast is more powerful than anything you've cast before. It took you a while to invoke the magic, and you pulled in what was left from the land and pushed your own energy into it. The area around you is a druid's grove. A sense of peace and calm washed over you after you completed the spell. Security. Got safe. Probably for the first time since arriving in Barovia. Fortunately, it didn't last long. Bronwyn and Elian spotted movement to the south. Hunter, exhausted, asleep against a tree, wasn't able to assist much. The movement, I believe, was the Vistani. People of Barovia who travel freely because you know, in the past, they saved Strahd a long time before, when he was not a vampire and assassins were sent to kill him. He made a promise to them that they would always be free to travel in his lands and leave. Unfortunately, something that you cannot do. And then the howls began to come. You could hear the sound as the wolves discovered where started to probe your defences, and then you heard the first thud. One of the trees you had brought to life smashed a wolf too close. Bronwyn, seeing the threat the Vistani could pose if the others' party were expecting undead, vampires, of a large group of humans arrive. Their defences could be shattered. They wouldn't be ready for it. She explained she was the quickest, the stealthiest, and ran. That was the last you saw of her. Howls echo into the night. Occasionally you hear the odd whimper from a wolf that strays too close and hits your fawns around. Hunter lies resting against a tree. Elian has climbed a tree and is on lookout. Just the three of you. You still have a feeling of security, but now it feels unnatural. It doesn't feel earned. There's something wrong. Something very. The night air coming down also, or the mountainside to the west rolls down towards the grove. A sea of mist rolls off the side of them. But it doesn't really hit the grove. It kind of separates and goes around you. You set two walls of wind at either side of the grove. Along this sort of rectangular kind of football pitch size, built with the four treants patrolling the long edges. Silence for a while. Not a reassuring silence. And it is broken. Deep, ominous howl. Closer than you would like. Comes from the west. There is malice in it, hatred, anger, and most importantly, evil. A slight rush of fear goes through you. You're able to suppress it. You are seasoned adventurers. Still a little way off. Here you stand. One grove against what must be wolves of Barovia. Elian, can you give me a perception as you are actively looking out from the tree, please?
21.
Nice. From here, you can see the Vistani, or what you believe to be the Vistani, mainly because they've got a lot of mounts, has come across the river, over the bridge for the Lunar River. Kind of got the mountain to the south mainly, and to the west slightly. And as you look down across the road, and then the forest beneath you. Across the other side of the road is a large hill, where you guys have been round before.
Yep.
From here, you can see down and across almost all the way to Valaki. Not quite. This line, this snake of torches, is making its way across the bridge and across the road. And then they disappear and vanish. So sure where they go, if they go out or if they made their way into the woodlands itself.
Great. But they definitely came towards Argynvost rather than down the road towards Berez.
It's hard to say. Hard to say. And then as you're peering and looking for, you see a few more lights. I'm in Valaki. More people are outside the town late at night. Few torches. These ones definitely moving slower, probably not mounted.
Why would people from Valaki venture outside the walls at night? That doesn't make sense.
The torches stand stationary for a while. There's no movement. For a good 20 seconds, 30 seconds, they're perfectly stationary. You're thinking maybe a group of about 15 or 20, maybe less, maybe more. You're not sure from this range. Just see the glow of the torches. It depends how many are carrying torches.
Yeah.
And then a small group break off. And similar to before, the torches disappear. This time you can see absolutely no indication of them or anything there at all.
What? Is Red conscious?
Yeah,
Like, I know she was sort of meditating, but
when we heard the wolf get caught in the tree, she had jumped up and was on alert.
Yeah,
So
she was ready in a spell.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Yes, sorry.
I think I had Thunderwave prepared.
Red, come up here and lend me your eyes, would you? I could do with a second opinion.
She'll release the spell after a moment. She takes another survey of the area, and then she'll presumably be climbing up a tree. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He'll actually sort of hang on to a branch, lean down, and
she'll
offer a hand.
grab his wrist and heave herself up. What do you need?
I thought I saw torches coming from Valaki, but they weren't moving, and now they're just gone. And he'll sort of point in the right direction over her shoulder.
So, give me a perception roll, please.
Could I use smell as well as sight to try and smell if torch has been put out? So the smell of
this
the
range. No.
Pardon? Not this range.
No.
Okay, in which case just regular 10.
In the far distance near the bridge, you can make out still a group of torches.
There's no indication of what's holding them. Just
you can just kind of see the glow in the mist. Think like Victorian England, London, when you see pictures and paintings of that, and you can see torches lighting up the mist. It's that kind of thing that you can see.
Yeah, she'll sort of nod over there and. You mean those torches? That's all I can see.
Yeah, you can't see any signs of a group that left them.
But I can see the torches that Red is talking about.
Yeah, so that was the main group who kind of came out and stopped. They're still kind of loitering around there.
Yeah, there was a second group that split off, I thought. But I can't see them now. And their lights didn't go out one by one. Something's happening down there, and I can't tell what.
Well, if something's coming towards us, we won't be surprised. If myself or Hunter don't hear it first, then the trees will certainly hear it first.
I'm going to try not to take that as a slight.
Alien, you are talented, is that the word, in many things.
It certainly is the word, yep.
But myself and Hunter are more adapted.
Oh yes, no, that
not being
part,
snuck up on.
That part I absolutely 100% entirely accept. It was when you went myself and Hunter trees. That like
Well, they're not just trees, Elliot.
trees with big ears, right?
Yes.
Okay, I
No,
can.
trees don't really have ears.
No, that's corn. Yeah.
They more feel the vibrations of the ground.
Hunter.
Yep.
Oh, we can
As you-
buy followers? Great.
Become famous.
Want to be famous?
I want to be famous.
As you sleep and as you rest, you're in that kind of exhausted dream state where you've pushed your body hard for the last couple of days. You've been attacked, you've been beaten, you fought, you've been cursed by something, picked up some disease, and now you find yourself lying in a druid's grove. As you close your eyes, your mind kind of wanders between that being asleep and being awake state. You're never really sure which state you're in. Find the ground comfortable beneath you. There's a warmth to it. Security. You can't help but feel you are one of a pact. These are people who have helped you and risked to save your life and you to save theirs. Hear a reassuring voice. Timeless, ancient, eternal. A power to it that carries across to you. Hunter, they call you. A fitting name, child. Done well.
Do I recognise the voice?
It sounds similar to the Night Mother, but there's something off about it. Something different.
You are.
I am someone you owe a great deal. But I think you have forgotten your oaths. Make them again now, or you will. I lost sight of you, but the veil is pierced now. An oath was made to me, a deal struck, a life saved, and a soul given. Who I am afraid inherit this cost.
Whose deal?
Sorry, I missed you there, Johnny.
Whose deal is it if I inherited it?
You know whose. can see it in you. Him in you.
And what is the cost of this deal?
That cannot be foreseen.
Where is the other half of me then?
Thoughts.
Hmm. And what happens if I do not accept? For I'm not that man.
Then you had best hope Strahd kills you. Because if he does not, and you somehow best him, you will be an oath breaker by my.
Hmm.
That is an if, a but, a maybe.
And how do I fulfill this oath?
Now that I can see you once more, now that I can aid you once more, true destiny, your true reason. Do you accept?
You're the one that looks after the girl in the crib.
Time to time.
Fine.
There are 3 souls in Barovia who need to die. The first, a deceiver of fate, a changer of fortunes, thief of souls. She tries to walk a fine line, manipulating changes what is mine. Your friends know. Enter.
Does she have a name?
No cards shall change fate.
Oh.
The second, soul that should not exist. A liar, a thief, who steals the history to make lies of the future. She must die. The third and final. Aha. She thinks she is important, but no. She is only there to die and by your hand, and therefore mine.
And what do I get from this?
A crib. A sometime. From time to time.
Very well.
If you break this oath to me, nothing will stop me from reclaiming the debts that are owed.
Fine.
I can sense a shadow, a taint upon you. A would-be, a has-been. Tell her nothing of this. For if you do, she will try to kill you. For that is what I would do. Now, you should wake up, or you will die.
Fine. His eyes just kind of instantly open and instantly just scans the area.
As you do, the raven that came in with Elian is looking at you very peculiarly and flapping its wings and does not look particularly happy and looks extraordinarily spooked as it stares at you. You're no longer exhausted, so
Cool.
that's good news.
Right. What's the bad news?
Were you not listening?
Hey, I just got told I got to kill some people. He's used to that.
Good luck with
That
that.
classes a rest.
Short rest.
Cool. So I get all my abilities and I will spend some hit die.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh, wrong button.
Yeah, as you look up to this raven giving you a funny look and squawking at you. Can someone do a good raven noise for me?
Matt, you're on mute.
I think
Worst
all
raven noise.
animals in my D&D campaign are now going to be like Pokemon. Raven!
Raven.
I like how all of them sounded like frogs.
Yeah.
like all Pokemon.
Yes, you feel refreshed. The threats that were made against you were made with extreme confidence, shall we say.
Fun.
Whoever made those threats believed that they could very easily complete them.
Yeah.
Whether or not that is true or not, you're not sure.
Okay. And is there any sign of like threat right now?
No, it's eerily quiet.
I'll yell up to Alien and Red because I know it. Be on the lookout. I think something's about to interrupt us.
I'm not up here picking apples.
Just, I had a bad dream.
Okay. What kind of dream?
I think it was one of Gabriel's dreams.
Oh. What did you see?
Saw nothing but a raven when I woke up.
Oh, they're all right.
Gabriel used to travel with a raven.
That, I mean,
This one, and they point at the one that's in front of him.
no,
Do we
this
recognise this particular raven?
And everyone roll initiative, please.
Oh.
Fight the raven.
We don't recognise the raven. Quick, run away from the raven.
Including NPC crew.
Oh.
17.
Oh my god, look at that. 26. Ugh.
Red, what did you get, please?
17.
How do you?
Sorry.
Yeah. Is it?
Elian?
How do I do that?
Also
I don't know
17. I have a higher dexterity.
We'll show off.
17.
Yes.
Zero.
Okay. It should automatic it, I'm not sure.
Cool.
We're not quite 1v1ing the raven. We're sort of 1v1ing.
Hopefully
I
it's
can
not
now-
the raven that's going to be a
Yeah, I
threat.
hope not. I hope we don't have to beat up a raven.
No, that would
or
be
get
really
beaten up by a
sad.
raven.
I mean, with
Kitty,
my
what
armor
was yours,
class and
please?
hit points,
I
I
got a
think
crit
I'm
fail.
playing the raven.
Crit fail.
I got a 3, which rather than -1, like I usually can. No, it's 0.
Catherine?
14.
I'm just going to put these as your normal characters. And Matt?
16.
Hunter, as you look up and say to them, I believe something bad is about to happen. Your intuition goes off. Your complete faith in your own gut and your own feeling. You immediately drop down to the ground into a fighting stance, getting low. You hear from the westmost side, the wind changes. There's a... It's hard to say. Like the scent, you've got these two walls of wind on either side of the grove, which Red has put up.
Yeah.
And it's been making scent and things like that slightly odd. And you can, all of a sudden, you get the scent of a wolf. And as you drop down, you look over, you can see the ground itself is moving slightly, as if something is burrowing.
Something is burrowing.
From the west-hand side where the wall of wind is.
I will relay that immediately to the other two, and then you just see the form of Hunter change to his were form, and his claws just with lightning.
Cool.
Yay.
I need to take some damage. 1d8.
Le damage.
7 points. Ooh, ouch.
So you guys are all annoyingly going to get a round of action, but you see over to the west-hand side of the grove, the ground, almost like a mole hill mound, comes up. It's not super deep, but they've kind of dug a little burrow and come under the wall of wind. These are very intelligent creatures, it would seem. You guys have seen the werewolves. You've seen the wolves that they travelled with. You have seen Red's wolf since whatever happened to it. And you see a head come out that makes them pale in comparison. The size of the head could probably and comfortably bite you in half. The size of this wolf is not a great deal smaller than the blue dragon head that you guys saw.
Eek.
As it pushes and the ground opens up around and it starts ducking down, and then smaller wolves start jumping out.
Oh, it brought friends.
But you guys can all react first. Hunter, what would you like to do? If you were to give the wolf that just popped out a size, you would say it is very large.
Okay.
Would it be a large creature?
Are the little ones more ahead of the big one?
Not a
So
giant.
they are, because you guys are reacting so quickly, you've all got spotted them first, and they are like, it's just sort of ducked down, and they are just coming out of the hole as you guys all react. So they haven't done anything. It's like their movement to come out. So no one's surprised on either side.
He will actually wait and look up at Red because they're in a contained space, and he's like, "You go," and then you just see him like he's ready. He's like, "Here, Red." Waits, and as soon as Red looses, he'll go after it.
Okay, go for it.
If he like throws a ball or something, Hunter will just.
Elian, you're next, sir.
I will shoot the big wolf head twice.
Yep.
I think. And maybe climb a little higher in this tree. Because giant wolves, not my friend. That's a 23.
Surprisingly a hit.
And a 19.
Ooh, double hit.
Sweet. 8 piercing and 11 piercing, both non-magical.
Oh, that's fine. 11. Yeah. As it pokes its head up, and you can see it ducking down from your vantage point. Shoot 2 arrows into the darkness as they strike home true into the hole. You definitely connected with something in there.
You should knock first.
Do my trees go on the same go as me?
Yes. So at the moment, they're kind of on the corners. So they are on the outside where this is happening on the inside. So you can give them instructions if you like to come to the inside. It is up to you.
She will shout to 2 of them in Sylvan that there is danger and calling them to aid.
Yep.
So they will start moving in. So are we just seeing the mounding earth at the minute, or are we actually seeing things?
You've seen the mounding earth come up, a big old head pop out for a second, and be like,
Cool.
2 arrows fly into that as it's ducking down, and then a smaller wolf popping out.
Oh,
Cool.
it.
I'm gonna cast Thunderwave at it. Yeah. Casting Thunderwave at it as a 4th level spell. Needs to make a Constitution save of 16 or higher.
There's a few here who will need to do it. We'll say you're going to hit probably 4. Constitution.
A Constitution of 16 or higher. Otherwise, it takes, if it fails, it takes 16 and is pushed back. If it saved,
so 2 saved and 2 didn't. So how much damage in total, please?
So that's 16, and then if it saved, 8, and won't get pushed back. But those that failed will get thrown backwards.
8 on a save.
Has Red basically gone up towards them?
Yeah, I'm guessing you've kind of run forward a bit.
No,
And then...
well, she's dropped down from the tree, gotten within range, and has.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So the first wolf that kind of jumps out the hole takes 2 steps towards you as you hit the grove, as you see this ripple smash towards them, as the first wolf is just lifted off and thrown into the wall of air and then ejected probably about 50 foot out the other side.
I love Druid Grove.
The other smaller wolf behind it is smashed and stumbles to the side, and you can't see in the hole for what damage is done to the others.
And I will now move in front of Red, or like kind of around Red, So then he's kind of offset from her if she does any more big spells. But if anything tries to come past, he'd just bring them down, basically.
So we've got 2 Red and Hunter sort of at the hole, 2 tree ants moving in, and then 2, one at the north and one at the south side, kind of just patrolling the top and bottom, yeah?
Yeah, there's 2 left that are still seeing if anything else tries to get in, but 2 are coming towards that big mound to Hulk smash.
Hunter and Red. You see a wolf dart out of this tunnel which has been dug underneath. It's jet white. Its eyes glow with an icy blue kind of winter walker-ness to them.
Ooh.
It opens its mouth as it does. It stands from sort of leg to shoulder. It's about 5.5 foot tall.
It's taller than me.
It's a big beast, and lengthwise is about 9 foot long. There's an intelligence to its eyes for sure. This is not a feral wild creature. It opens its mouth as if it was about to howl, but no howl comes out. Can you both give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Ten.
16.
10, I'm afraid, is a fail. 16 is a pass. 14 damage and half, so 7 for you. As it opens its mouth to howl, but you just see the air as it starts freezing as it comes towards you. And frost engulfs you for a second as true chill, a pain from your fingers. It passes quite quickly, but you take 14 frost damage. It then starts to flank south and runs into one of your treants. So if you want to make an attack with one of your treants, please.
It will only come to you, unfortunately. So I don't know how to... a lot. A lot.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that's kind of okay.
Pretty nice.
I kind of feel like it's like the Whomping Willow. You know how it just like pulls back with a big creak and just slams down. Oh.
How much damage that thing just caused? Because we can't see it.
It just hit for 18 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
You can see it on Twitch.
With this wolf paying attention to you as it darts to try and flank you and get round you. It's not paying too much attention to the trees as it tries to basically run past one of the trees coming from the south, which you have seen moving. This creature has not, and gets splattered.
Splat.
Shall we call you the outside crew? Let's call you the outside crew.
Outsiders.
The outdoorsy crew.
I don't want to be outdoorsy. I like doorsies. I like really thick doorsies between me and wolves.
Outside crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Kitty, Catherine, and Matt.
Oh, damn. Well, they can be the outdoors crew.
We're the Druid Grove crew. We're a better outdoorsy.
Like a grove.
Biker.
Like a grove.
Ooh, biker.
Ooh, druid, surely.
Ooh, druid.
All of you.
Druid.
All of you, apart from Matt, find yourself asking, how did you get into this situation? Matt, you were the only one who truly volunteered to do this from the bottom of your heart. You knew this was the right thing to do. You are a good person deep down.
Yes.
Of us.
People are your friends. You need to rescue them. Plus, Red has got your hat. Saint Jackal saved your life. He brought you back from death and torment from Barovia. It is your duty. The Burgermeister, you respect him greatly, respected your wishes. He knew the danger you were putting yourself into and said, go. Shook your hands and nodded. I shall see you again. Look. Like me to pass any messages on to your wife. If somehow you have a nasty fall, something befalls you.
I am going to help Saint Jakul. I believe I will be well.
Then go with my blessing. You are a good man.
I thank you, Burgermeister. You are the best of us.
I will speak to the Burgermeister here and make sure you are not alone.
I thank you.
You hear the argument that they're having in the background. As it would seem, the Burgermeister's talking to someone close to him. Someone in his family is being sent as well. You can hear the sound of this raised voice. Look! Stop hiding it. I know what you are capable of, lad. The Stani are up to no good. They can't be trusted. If they are going out in this force, no one else can make it, but you can. Go. We'll have to talk about your mother.
Fine.
You won't be alone.
Bit better on my own.
No. You'll be fine. You're a healthy young man. Look at you. You are a picture of... You'll be fine.
Picture of 35 hit points lion.
Well, that's what I think it is. They are like 15.
As you look over and you can see someone who you might have been introduced to in passing, you forget their name. You can see a guard wearing chainmail with a shield and a spear, javelin on his back. Is this man? At least he's not wearing one of those stupid crest hats. One redeeming feature.
Classic teenage.
You know
pirate.
you're not going to be able to talk your way out of this one. You can probably lay low until all this blows over and comes back yourself.
Whatever.
You're in the sort of town square of Valaki. Vargas, the Burgermeister, this renewed man, a complete changed man from how you have seen him for the last 10 years. Standing taller and prouder, shouts out. I will not order anyone to come. But we must try to help them. Vistani They mean no well for us or this land. They are going out in force. This can mean nothing good for our allies, and they have done well by us, all of us. We are going to aid them. We're going to send a small group ahead with my own blood who will be able to hide them. Does anyone else volunteer to go with them? Or to come out with us? You'll be alone if you do go with them. The chances of success will be slim. Will not lie to you. You see a few people volunteering around you. Most people are volunteering, a few of the guards, to come out, but they've all got reasons why they can't go with this kind of small force trying to push through.
Have I volunteered yet for the small group?
You're in the small group.
Yeah. I assumed. I just yeah.
Nikolai, as you look round, your vision slightly blurred. You look upon him.
I suppose somebody must prove that the Watchers are still an important family here. And then he burps really loud.
Your brother looks at you in disbelief.
We should, and this is an aside to him, we should show willing to both sides. It's what Mother would have wanted.
I will go with the main group then. You have fun with that small group.
He winks at his brother and passes him a bottle that he's got concealed under his cloak.
Yeah. As you go to pass it, he pulls out his own one and sort of chings it to you. And puts it back underneath. Good luck.
Same to you.
You leave Valaki in a hurry. The west gate locked and completely barricaded in now. Let down over the wall and first in front, others following you in the lanterns coming out. You push forward as a group moving quickly and quiet. You can hear howls coming in the night. Fortunately, they are not coming from all directions. They are all coming from direction you are currently travelling. In total, there's about 25 of you. They seem to be standing strong, though. These are proud people. Best of the best. You make it to the bridge. Vargas there. Make me proud, son. Blood of my blood.
Yeah, sure.
Go. Do whatever it is you do. Protect these ones with you. We will make a distraction. We'll try to pull the Vistani away if we can.
He'll grab each of them by an arm and go for invisibility.
As you vanish. A bizarre sensation, to be sure. You start making your way west. Round the road and down and across. You can hear in the distance the howls growing longer. An almighty howl which brings the hairs on the back of your neck up and forces you all to take a step backwards. Probably not you, Nikolai. Beer is for the sober, not for the... You can see in the distance, is that a wolf fighting a tree?
Tree
Yes.
pounding on a wall.
Yes,
anymore.
it is. You can see wolves dead everywhere in the surrounding. The mist here is thicker. And from the south, you can hear the sound of massed combat. A howl, but there's like a humanness to it. It's not as like feral as the wolves, but there's something unnatural and unearthing about it. A blast of thunder erupts, and the ground shakes beneath your feet. And you all give me a perception check, please.
All
No,
those
just,
20.
Outside crew, please.
Right.
Outside
5.
Outer group.
14.
20.
5, sorry, that was 5.
Shard got a 5.
Completely bamboozled by all of this.
Ivan, you've probably heard the howl of Hunter before. He's gone feral.
Hmm.
The sounds of combat not unfamiliar with you, especially fighting wolves. Their tactics so not unfamiliar. You spend a moment to scan the undergrowth, not where the sound of combat is coming, but around to the north. There, lying in just to the north. Sure how many? You're sure something waiting, hiding.
I'll get a harsh stop. To the south, there, look.
The others can't really see anything as you point towards it.
They can't even see my hand.
And then you can hear the sounds of combat erupt again. You are about 60 foot north of where the combat is coming from. What do you do? Do you guys, as a group, if that's okay?
Okay. We
So you've got some kind of hidden form over to the north, or the sounds of a larger combat to the south.
we should find Saint Jakul and the others.
If you say so.
We are invisible. We could
Yes,
just stay here. No one would know.
What? We have a purpose here.
As you
We're not
guys
gonna
all
get-
kind of have a little talk amongst yourselves about what you should do, you hear more howls coming from inside.
I smack Victor over the back of the head.
I'm invisible.
Invisibility's broken. No! There was an attack.
Concentration.
Dropped for everyone.
Concentration is broken.
Strong
It's
start,
Nice
team.
to have
Strong start.
competent backup.
Good job.
Explain to me how you all died.
Yay,
well,
reinforcements.
You've got a guard, a teenage boy, and a drunken.
Yeah. That's
We're
what you
Strengthened
want.
loud.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
Hunter.
that genuinely broke the invisibility.
Ooh, is a 16 a hit, Hunter?
I don't think it is. Oh, it is what it is because I haven't got the armor back yet. So yeah, that's a hit.
What happened to your armor?
I took it off because I was wearing it when we left the wizard's place when I had to go for a big run after Casimir. I wasn't wearing it.
7 points of damage as a small wolf darts out of the hole and straight for you as it just launches itself at you and bites its teeth deep.
So 3 damage.
Yeah, depressingly. Can you give me a strength saving throw, please?
What's this against?
To be knocked prone.
Okay. I will use my inspiration and reroll that. 14.
Oh, come on. It's a wolf. You were lucky it hit. Never mind about the prone.
And a second wolf comes darting out, and they're both that's a miss. The second one comes. Look, I know he's got advantage because there's more than one.
Pack tactics. Yeah.
16.
Yeah, that hits. That hits.
And go. And another 3 points of damage and another strength saving throw, please. Elian, you see these smaller wolves being sent in now. There's 2 of them dart forwards and one jumps higher. Hunter grabs onto his arm and tries to drag him to the floor. You see Hunter's legs stumble for a second as he rights himself and pulls out of the beast's grip. Looks at the last second as another one pounces onto his chest and digs his claws deep. Teeth deep into the shoulder and tries to take him to the floor. And strength saving throw for me, please, Hunter.
16.
And Hunter just pushes the beast off to the side and stands his ground. You can see menacing eyes still looking from within the tunnel. Elian, give me a perception check, please.
11.
You can see this combat going on beneath you, the occasional sway of the trees and movement which you put down to the treants around.
Okay.
Jump back to the beginning. Hunter, your turn.
I've basically got 2 on me, don't I?
There's 2 small wolves on you and in close combat with Red as well. You guys are kind of fighting shoulder to shoulder, but you're slightly in front.
Where's the big one?
Still in the tunnel. It's not made itself aware. And then there's the winter wolf, the one with the blue eyes, is to the south and has just been clobbered by a treant.
Okay. Yeah, I'll attack the 2 little ones in front of me.
Yeah.
The first one. 14.
Depressingly, yep.
Takes 12 points of damage.
Yeah, this one was the one that got rocked back by the thunder wave. And as it kind of jumps on and grabs you by the arm and you tear the arm away, you just uppercut it as it makes its death spasm mid-air, bounces once, and that's not going to get up from that. The other one, which you threw off your shoulder, is in a low crouch, getting ready to pounce at you again.
I'll try and attack that one as well.
Yep.
22.
And total damage?
16 lightning.
Yeah.
Is it still standing?
No. New little one will be dead. As you throw it off your shoulder and it kind of skids, it drops down and gets ready to pounce at you again, but you're just so quick off your feet as your weight is on the front of your toes. Smash one with the uppercut, turn and spring, and with your claws rake into the other one that jumped at you. You've got movement action if you want to use it.
And a bonus action, don't I? one. Let's go. How far away is the larger one?
The one which went to the south, about 25 foot.
Sweet. I am going to turn and amplify my blood curse of binding. It needs to succeed a strength saving throw, please, of DC 13. As I mutter something in Abyssal at it.
16.
Yeah, that passes.
As you mutter this curse at it, this creature, you can see the muscles under its fur. And it looks like it got hurt by the tree end, but it looked a long way from dead yet. The binding takes hold briefly, but it's able just to tear it back. Are you finished?
That is me done. Yes.
Elian. From up in the tree, you can see below you Hunter basically just tear two of these smaller wolves apart. The big winter wolf engaged by a tree and then it didn't see, and into the tunnel would be a hard shot now.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the winter wolf.
Yep.
And shoot it with one arrow. Will 17 hit it?
Depressingly, yes.
Cool. Can it make a strength saving throw? I'm going to spend a superiority dice to make that a trip attack.
You catch it completely unawares as you see
Nice.
the winter wolf. How much damage is that, please?
That's 9 points of piercing damage, and I knock it prone.
Yeah. As its eyes look, and you're pretty sure you see the look of fear in it for a second as it just gets clobbered by this tree. Then Hunter invokes a spell on it and it rips itself from it as its head turns to face him and it's kind of skidding across the floor. You see the opportunity and catch it perfectly with a shot, knocking it to the floor.
How badly injured does it look at a glance?
Ooh, there is definitely a red in its fur, but it is not soaked through by a long.
Cool. I am going to spend a bonus action and a superiority dice and pass up my second attack to use Commander's Strike to yell to the tree to clobber the winter wolf and give it an attack.
Well, fucker.
Which
Ed,
is advantage because it's prone.
Awaken Tree Slam, huh?
Yep. At advantage.
And it has it with advantage.
Oh, and it gets a damage buff from my superiority dice if it hits.
So
Yeah.
with advantage, it hits for it. 22 hits, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Ooh.
And it does 20 bludgeoning damage.
And how much from the
How much
superiority
from the
dice?
superiority?
Another 2 points on top.
So 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Again, this big creak as it sort of rolls back a punch and just...
You hear the sounds of ribs snapping and bones crunching. It lets out a yelp and a squeal in pain. But it is not dead. Red,
Hit it again.
it's your turn.
Aye. So how many things have we got currently? We've got the ice wolf that's down.
Big
wolf
ice
still
wolf who's
remaining.
out. You can't see it particularly well, but in that little tunnel that opened
It's in
up,
there.
there's something in there. You know, there's something in there.
Cool. In which case, we're gonna... what was I gonna do? So sorry. I had a plan in my head and now it's just gone.
Yeah, planish man.
I'm going to cast Erupting Earth over that hole.
What does that do?
So Erupting Earth. Choose a point you see on the ground within range. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on the point. Each creature in that area must make a dex saving throw. A creature takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage on a failed save or half as much if successful. Additionally, the ground in the area becomes difficult terrain.
Yeah, just give me some
Basically, going
damage.
to launch whatever in it out.
Yeet it out.
Get off my land.
Fuck off. So
Oh, that's-
he's doing 16 or higher.
I'm just going to have them fail. They're in a
Okay.
tunnel. I can't see any situation where they pass that.
Oh, so the creature in there takes 12 bludgeoning damage, not as high as I wanted, but ho hum. And is then yeeted out of said tunnel. So it churns up.
Yeah. You can see the ground start to change underneath them as you focus on it. The tree's roots wiggling and moving and aiding you in the druid grove. Give me another d12 on that damage.
Another D12. Oh boy. Must be Christmas. 11.
Oh.
nearly as much damage.
Yes, the first.
Mistakes were made. As you see this giant, large wolf, this hulking monstrosity of a wolf pushed to the ground. It looks smashed and battered. There's blood down one side of its face. You can see one of its teeth is chipped, and that looks like a new thing. But behind it, looking quite fresh, but churned up by the earth. 1, 2, 3 into wolves.
I'd like to use my bonus action.
Yes.
I would like to summon the. I would like to use my druidic totem and summon the spirit of the bear.
Nice.
Which comes sort of ambling out. So these swirling, like leaves and twigs and dirt, forming the shape of this bear.
You think you've seen the spirit of the bear before. Those who are in, especially you, Elian, your vantage point. In the Druid Grove, you feel you could touch it. It almost looks real. It almost looks tangible. Tangible? Tangible, that's the word I'm looking for. Here.
You made a bear.
So that means, so everyone in, so Elian and Hunter, you now get 5, what's our current level?
12.
12.
So you get 17 temporary hit points.
Nice.
And you get advantage on all strength checks and saving throws.
Oh, I'm gonna go down.
How big
Trees
a
get to go.
how big a range is that, by the way?
60 foot.
But it's only
You
for
guys would
allies.
be in that.
Yeah.
But she would know they were in there though.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, it has to sort of
You guys
be.
select.
You would pick people who you would choose as allies. So
Yeah.
you probably, in the grand scheme of things, I would be happy for you.
Would the earth know that they are friends? The spirits of the woods know they are here to help us.
Are they here to help us, and are they friends?
Most definitely. Wow. Okay.
There are some very conflicted people on that in that group.
Yeah.
What was the buff? Sorry, I didn't think it
So
applied to us, so I
17
wasn't.
temporary hits.
Yeah, that's almost doubled my hit points.
And you get advantage on all your strength checks and saving throws.
Nice.
So we all get the 17 temp.
Yeah, because you are within range. And do 1/2 trees
Use your
get to go?
disadvantage. Adam, I would suggest using your disadvantage on your crit roll.
Got that damage as well.
Yeah, let's disadvantage that. And
I was
also
going to say my trees get to go.
the trees
The trees
Oh
get to
yeah,
go first.
trees normal go.
My
I'm
trees
sorry.
need to go first, and they're now both there. So that's 2 trees. Tree
And
number
we're getting
1
disadvantage
does not
on that
move
when
well.
you
first fight.
They've got advantage.
They have advantage. Okay, so first tree hit, so 18 hits, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's dead.
11 bludgeoning
Yay.
damage. And then
You see the 2 trees just kind of, as the wolf's getting ready to get to its feet, there's just this branches wailing in on it on the floor as they just pummel and pancake it into the floor.
and they will delightfully put their roots where the blood's soaked in. enjoying the extra
nutrients of it.
and then
Lovely.
just supping.
You've all been outside crew.
Mm.
You can see all of you now, because they're not trying to hide from you because they do not know you are there. You can see 6 shapes, at least 6 shapes, 2 of which are very large, low, very carefully stealthing from the north. You see one of them gets quite there as they're moving south towards the sound of the big battle. You can see in front of them there are some dead wolves lying across what looks like normal ground, and you can see the roots kind of sticking out and jutting out. And at first they kind of just looked a bit wet in the light, but you can see the roots are pointed and it's blood. But from here, you can also see that a lot of them have been kind of dug up or have an actual dead wolf lying on top, taking most of the spikes, and they have a clear route into the middle. And they are, so if you imagine you've kind of got the big grove here, these wolves are kind of sneaking down this way, and you guys are kind of off to the side about here.
How far away are we from the new wolves?
So from the middle, you're probably about 40 foot, and from the wolves making their way in, about 25, 30 foot.
Okay, and we're still invisible, yeah?
You're still invisible.
But as soon as you do something, it will fall. You can't attack and stay invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ivan, your knowledge of these wolves fighting in pack tactics, if they can get 2 or 3 of them on one person, and they can take that person to the ground, that they will just focus on destroying that one person.
We need to be extra careful here.
There seems, you know of wolves in Barovia with an unnatural intelligence. For sure.
Yeah, I'll say that out loud, that we need to be extra careful, but this seems like as good a place as any that those we want to save are. So
Come on, coward boy, let's see what you can do.
You want me to do something?
We should follow them quietly. We need to know that those we want to protect and meet up with are actually here.
Nikolai sort of sways backwards and then sways forwards and just breaks into a run towards the closest.
You can see that both of you would have noticed he is drunk as a fucking skunk.
It's like,
all right.
Running.
How does invisibility work? Can we actually see him just darting off?
Yeah, well, with you guys all being invisible together, yeah.
I assume we can see each other, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
That makes it more fun for me.
Otherwise, it would be a lot more difficult. Just like get lost.
We must be stealthy. Hang on, where's the other one gone?
Basically, yeah.
Right, as you go charging towards them, Nikolai.
Yeah.
You can see leading from the back.
And it's probably quite a zigzagged run.
As you close the distance, you can see leading from the rear is the biggest freaking wolf that you have ever seen in your life. It is a ginormous monstrosity of an abomination of a wolf. In front, at the very front, are 2 smaller wolves. And then 2 wolves that seem to be white, and they're large, and then this big one at the back. Which one are you going for?
So the smallest one's closest.
The The one which is the closest to you is the big one. So they're kind of heading south like a single
Okay.
file. So
I
two
see,
small
yeah.
ones, two white ones, big one at the very back.
How far are we from the edge of the Druid Grove?
That if you charge towards them, they're about 10 foot. No, the front wolf is in the spiky bit of the Druid Grove, and the back one about 10 foot off the back of it.
Okay. I've got a lot of movement.
You're really fast. Like you would see, although Nikolai's drunk as a skunk, there's like one point as he's running forwards, like his leg hits a root, which makes him spin, and as he spins, he kind of shoulder hits a branch and a tree, and somehow stays on his feet and continues running. Yeah. If he meant to do that, it was impressive, but you don't believe that he meant to do that.
So Nikolai goes charging at the one of the big ones that's like closest in the middle.
Okay, yeah. You slam into the side of it, all knees and elbows, as its head wails round at the last second to see you. It wasn't paying any attention, so you've got advantage.
Cool. And
these ice blue eyes fix on you.
Yeah, I'm going to do 2 unarmed strikes.
Oh, you want to use this one?
Oh, that is, yeah. With my silver knuckle dusters. So that was with advantage, wasn't it?
Yeah. So your first one is a 20.
That's a hit.
Second one is
a 21.
And there were 2 hits.
You started him as a drunken master monk, didn't you?
Yeah.
you evil genius.
5 damage plus 5 damage, and I'm going to spend a key point to make 2 more unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Nice.
So 20, that's a crit. And of 20.
So a crit would be 9 damage plus a d6. Yeah, max is 9 damage.
Yeah.
Plus a d6 being 3, which is 12 damage for the crit, and then
8 damage.
8 damage. So 20 damage, 30 damage in total.
And then I'm going to use my drunken technique where I use a flurry of blows, which is what I just did to do the bonus action. I'm going to use my disengage action for free and plus 10 foot to my my speed this round so that I can get away. I think if I got 20 foot left of my...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then just like sort of go off at a random direction towards the rest of the group in the middle. Add a bit of a sort of a tangent, like a dog leg, you know.
So just to confirm, we've just seen this bloke come charging in.
Okay, so invisible crew. This is what you see. Nikolai charge in, trip on a root, spin, hits his shoulder onto a tree, and as he's spinning off the tree, falls in with an elbow that hits the wolf as it rears backwards, and Nikolai looks like he's about to fall over backwards as his boot slices up, hits it, stumbles forwards with 2 massive haymakers. You see the wolf turn and lunge to make a bite attack onto him, and Nikolai, not really seeming to pay too much attention, trips over a root behind him, rolls out of it, and starts running towards the druid circle. You just kind of stood there for a second. He is now very visible, and there are lots of wolves. Those inside the...
Twice as many wolves he can see.
Those inside the druid circle, probably Elian is the only one. Can you give me a perception? Those on the floor are not going to see it.
We're busy.
You're busy, I'm afraid.
We outside can't see them inside, can we? Or...
You might be able to see Elian, actually.
11.
You would see him stumble into the circle. You can see human. You blink a couple of times, and Nikolai is in the circle. The druid grove. He's kind of come from the north.
What?
Oh, by the way, Adam, all of my attacks with my fists are magical.
Yeah.
Just as
Love it.
standard. Yeah.
Magical fists.
Ivan and Victor.
I just standed there quite shocked.
The wolves
These
that are
plans
dead,
key points
are
and
any of
the
them
console
sort
to
of
be sold.
standard size wolves, or are they all
The two at the
humongous
very
things?
front are standard. The two in the middle are these winter wolves, these big white ones with blue eyes. One of them is now looking in your general direction after Nikolai.
The dead ones.
Nikolai.
The
Yeah.
dead ones.
The dead ones are the size I want to know.
Yes, quite a few of them are small, medium, and large. There's a variety out there for sure. There's quite a lot of death.
Victor will cast Dance Macabre. It gives him up to, depending on how many there are,
Quite a few.
5 zombie wolves at his control. But they can only be small or medium, so if they're large, he can't use them.
So yeah,
Up
the
to
medium
5,
ones,
small,
I'll
medium.
give you. We'll say there's D6. So if you roll a 5 or a 6, you get 5. Give me a D6, and that's how many you can get.
4.
Nice, yeah.
That is so on brand for him.
He had to leave his
upgraded
skeleton
my cat.
cats at home, so he's going for zombie wolves
I want a
now.
dog now.
Father,
Daddy,
I've got...
I want a dog.
I have dogs.
Ivan, stuck there, you kind of stand stationary for a second. You hear this deep, dark chanting behind you. There's menace to it. Darkness. It sounds a bit theatrical and a bit over the top. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You feel a coldness in the air. As you look towards the spikes, you see some of the smaller wolves start to twitch and move. They don't move like wolves as they get up awkwardly, and you can see blood just running down them from when they were dead or killed. Yeah, they stand up small. Those inside the circle, Elliot, you would definitely see this. 4 wolves, which were dead towards the north of the circle, are no longer dead towards the north of the circle, and
What
are now
is
most
going
definitely
on?
alive.
One group to travel with.
Hunter, you would see that as well. Red, you would most definitely see that.
Yeah. Didn't I just kill them?
Does that mean that Wizard Boy is now visible and like I'm visible as well?
Yes, he would be.
Concentration is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He gets a bonus action now every turn to basically do something with his pet wolves.
Yeah.
So you can attack this turn with them.
Yeah, make them.
Yeah. You can give. It has been basically a simple command. So it. What would he do?
Attack,
he'd command them to attack the ones that are coming in.
Okay, do you want me just to rate 3 attacks?
Yeah, it says that your DM should know the appropriate stats. That's what it says.
It's all on the DM. It's responsibility.
You see these unnatural wolves as they get up. Awkwardly don't attack you. And as you look round now, you can't believe how close they got from the north. But you can see 5 more wolves coming down from the north, and they start to fight these other wolves. 2 of them strike true, and one of them hits really well.
Adam, they're +4 to attack and damage. Just
Okay.
so, yeah.
Wait, Nikolai Watcher is a necromancer now?
Always has been. So it's an extra 2 damage on each of them as well, because it's +4, not +2 damage.
Okay. Jeez, yeah.
And they do the strength attack as well, I think.
Yeah. Okay. You can see this battle happening outside to the north with these zombie wolves fighting normal wolves. Ivan, what are you going for, sir?
If I'm suddenly visible, I'll just.
You're very aware that Victor is out in the open.
Yeah.
And there is this very large wolf that has not engaged anything in combat.
Is he close to us?
You're probably the closest thing to him, yes.
Okay. I'll maneuver myself between the big wolf and...
If you wanted to, you could engage the big wolf, or you can take a defensive stance. Happy for either.
I'm gonna take a defensive stance, and I'm gonna whip out a javelin, and I'm gonna throw the javelin at the big wolf.
Okay, yeah, give
And
me a
then
roll to
get
attack, please.
My spear out after it's gone. So
Yeah, and I'm
throwing
happy
it.
with that. Throw your javelin and have your spear ready.
Well, I miss with my javelin.
As it sails into a nearby tree and just thuds home true in that.
Okay.
Do
Yeah,
you
then
know?
I'll...
Is it one of my trees?
Do you not have more than one attack, Matt?
Oh yeah, I do, don't
Oh
I?
yeah, you'd be
I
on
don't know
two
how many.
attacks.
I
We'll
don't
say
know how
you've got
many
two.
javelins I have.
Have two
Yep.
javelins.
All right, I'll throw a second javelin then. So 7 piercing.
Yeah, what did you roll to hit?
24.
Oh yeah, definitely a hit.
I assumed that hit.
Yeah, the javelin strikes true. Sails across the clearing and collides into the side of this massive wolf.
Then I'm going to. Yeah, no, then I'm going to get out my spear and get into a defensive stance next to Victor.
Okay. Wolves' turn. The large wolf is thrown out. Is going to come. 1 or 2 is red. 3, 4, 5, 6 is Hunter because he's in the front.
Yeah,
Hunter, he's going for you, boss.
that's cool.
He's coming across first. This flurry of blows comes out of him.
Oof.
18,
Yeah,
25, and 15.
yeah. Oh no, the 15 doesn't.
Okay, nice.
What is your armor class at the moment, Johnny?
16.
Okay. It strides across this uneven ground. It doesn't seem to be too hampered by it, with the pure size and physical strength of the beast. It leaps at you with a big bite as its mouth opens up and its jaws lock onto you. Oh, that one should be a attack for that second one. Just as if this hit. Okay. Can you give me a DC 16 saving throw and take 12 piercing non-magical?
So, how much piercing?
12.
So 6.
Yep.
And strength save.
Yes, please.
But I get advantage, don't I, because of...
Oh, yeah, the bear spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I'm down.
Puts you onto the floor. And then I'm just going to say that this is his second. And an 18 to hit and 13 points of damage, please.
Okay.
Non-magical. So he does 1 bite and 2 claws. Sorry, I did 2 bites.
Okay.
As he jumps across, bites in, just tears you to the floor. The weight and strength of this animal is ginormous. As he throws you down to the floor, 2 claws come in. First one you're able to roll out of the way of. The second one then pins you down to the floor as you feel these dirty claws just rake across your flesh. The 2 winter wolves are going to come charging forwards. They're both going to ice breath, but they can't get both of you without hitting the big wolf. So they're going to do an ice breath on each of you.
Mm.
Can you both give me a saving throw, please? Dexterity.
I'm at disadvantage, aren't I, because I'm on the floor?
Yep.
12.
11.
12 is depressingly a save, and 11, unfortunately, is not.
That's okay.
15 points of damage if you did not save, and if you did save, it is 7 points of damage.
Perfect.
As these 2 wolves come forward and cones of cold cast out into different areas amongst the druid grove, and then they close the distance. And they all seem to be going for Hunter, but they don't get an attack this round. They don't quite have enough movement to make it across the difficult terrain. They seem slowed down by it a lot more than the big wolf. So those two kind of come out, do an ice breath, and then start moving forwards, but don't make it all the way in. Zombie wolves fighting normal wolves.
Come on, zombie wolves.
It's probably not going to do too well for zombie wolves. I'm sorry. The small
But
wolf.
father.
The zombie wolves have killed both small wolves, which were at the front. Have just been killed by the 4 zombie wolves.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
The 2 winter wolves get their full attention, and into the zombies, 2 blasts of cold just erupt into them for huge amounts of damage. You see,
The undead have cold resistance.
doesn't make too much difference, unfortunately. You see these 2 winter wolves blast into them, but have used up their breath attack against them now. The large wolf, with the javelin stuck in the side of it, its huge head turns round towards you.
Okay.
Slowly, its shoulders drop. Shoulders go up and its head drops low. Its body low to the ground. Gets to within 25. And then with blinding pace, leaps towards you, trying to get to the side of you. It dodges one way and then to the other as it kicks up dirt behind it, but you are well trained and keep your spear pointing towards it. It's going to attack you unless you've got any kind of reaction or anything you want to use.
I'm gonna brace. So as he comes into my range.
Yeah, it's inside your range as it comes into attack.
Oh, that was the superior.
You got roll to attack as well.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh! Yes!
God damn it.
Right in the
Ivan.
nose.
9. Are you doing it one-handed or two-handed?
One-handed. I've got my shield out.
Okay, so it'd be 9 plus 4, so 13.
Plus 3 from the
so
maneuver.
16 damage.
Ooh, not bad.
16. As you see it trying to skid to get around your spear point, the last second you bring it round, drop down low, put your foot against the back of the spear, and as it leaps at you, a lot of the wolf's own weight is pushing down on your spear as you see the whole shaft flex and then spring back. God bless Crestwood. But it is going to try and eat your face.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong
18 armor. Oh.
So
18,
the first
18.
attack. Okay. Can you give me a strength saving throw? I'm going to give you advantage on the strength saving throw as well because of
In the bear
the
totem.
brace.
Oh, crit.
Doesn't matter. Okay. What even is this?
That can't be right.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is like me the other night when I was like, well, okay, I give you disadvantage. I never crit then.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yep. Take it and move on. It happens.
The bite comes in and connects. This huge jaws locks round you as you feel it try and tear you to the floor and drag you. You've seen too often what happens when someone gets on the floor against a wolf. You were ready for it. The spear strikes home true. As he tries to, you just slam your foot down onto the ground and keep your foot in. The wolf then slams in 2 claws as you bring your shield up, and the force behind it jars the shield back against your body. But you stand strong. You see the winter wolves decimate the zombie wolves and start making their way towards the centre. The one treant towards the north seems to be fighting a small group of just normal wolves. and the one to the south doesn't seem to be fighting anything red. And then the two in the middle have just killed the other wolf. And then we're back to the start. So Hunter.
Hunter being on the ground here, he'll basically spin round and get up. And as he does, he's just going to try and uppercut the big wolf and not worry about the winter wolves.
Yeah, they're not in range yet for you. So you spend half your action, half of your move story getting to your feet.
Yeah.
Big Wolfie is upon you still.
16.
Is a hit.
28. And I'll do the third one as well.
Bonus action it, yeah?
21. 3d8 plus on top of that. 12 plus 13 is 25. Plus 11 is 36. Plus 7 is 43 points of damage.
Yeah, he's not getting up from that.
Nice.
In one brutal
Lightning
round
damage.
of combat, vengeance in your eyes as this creature took you to the floor. You spring to your feet with this huge uppercut, knocking its jaw up. Your second claw grabs it by the throat as its mouth then tries to grab you, trying to get its teeth around your arm, but it can't, as the fucking punch in as you've got it by the throat and electric rustling off its face. As you hear a voice in the back of your head. It's dead. It's dead. As you drop its lifeless corpse to the floor. You can see the two winter wolves closing in on you now, though. But it is Elian's turn. So the two winter wolves are about 10 foot away from combat. They've made it out of the difficult terrain. Mm-hmm. Their eyes fixated on Hunter, but now the big wolf's dead. They may change targets. You can see Hunter standing sort of center, and just behind him off his shoulder is Red. You've got two treants, which have just finished punishing one of the winter wolves into the ground. You can hear the sound of combat to the north. As you look over, you can see these zombie wolves just get destroyed by blasts of cold air. And you can see, is that Ivan? Not wearing his hat, standing and bracing against another giant wolf, which is attacking him outside your camp. And he's protecting, of all people, the frail form of the 15, 16-year-old boy of Victor.
Oh, hence the wolves. That makes more sense. I should probably do something about that. Can I get a bow shot off on the big wolf fighting Ivan?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Cool. I'll shoot it. I hope. Ooh, 27.
Ooh, big hit.
I will deal it 5 points of piercing damage.
Into its flank.
And then I will spend a superiority dice to do it. Another 6 points of damage.
Yep.
And the next attack against it by somebody who isn't me is at advantage.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I'll shoot it again. For 9 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, 2 big hits into the side of it. It does stumble sideways somewhat. You can see there's a javelin stuck in it, and it looks like one of Ivan's attacks with the spear did a lot of damage.
Ivan, be careful. Jakul will be very unhappy with me if I let you die again.
Red, your turn. You can see, taking a second, Red, you've got 2 frost wolves in front of you. To the north, you can see 2 more frost wolves, which have just killed a large group of undead wolves, and they have a very clear line towards you.
How far away are they all from each other? So the first
the 2 frost wolves are kind of shoulder to shoulder, and they're about 25, 30 foot away.
And then the other group, how far away from them?
The ones in front of you are 10 foot away.
So 10, 20, so 60-foot radius spell centered on a point so it doesn't hit me and Hunter would get them all.
Do me and Ivan.
You would you'd also definitely get 2 of the treants. Because you've got kind of 2 treants towards the back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if this is the grove, you've got the wolves coming in from here, and you've got the wolves coming in from this side. You guys are kind of here, and then you've got 2 treants over here.
Cool.
So if you kind of put the spell up here, so it would kind of get both of them, but not you, it would hit the treants as well.
Well, we've got 2 treants left. And they have served their purpose very well. Red is going to call out to Hunter and Elian, look away. And is going to plant her feet on the floor, and thunder begins to rumble and the clouds begin to darken and swirl up ahead. And she's going to cast Call Lightning down on the frost wolves. And I'm going to cast that at a higher level. How high a level am I going? I'm going to cast that at 5th level.
That's gonna hurt.
27 and 8. So they need to make a 16 or more dexterity saving throw, or they take something.
35.
Pardon?
35, 27.
35 points of lightning damage.
Okay. So you summon the spell. So you can do this slightly differently. Sorry. So you summon the spell, and then that's your kind of area for the storm.
Yeah.
And then every round you can rain down a lightning bolt, and it's everything, and it's a 5-foot kabloom. So you've got the 2 at the front you could do it on, or the 2 to the north.
The 2 that are closest to us first. Kaboom.
Okay. And what's the save against it?
16 or higher.
Jeez. And it's a dexterity save?
Yep.
And they're on uneven terrain, so I'm going to give them disadvantage on it.
Yeah. And if they fail, it's 35 points of damage, half on a save.
Okay. So that's a 3, and one's got a 16.
So
1 saves and 1 doesn't.
Yeah, so 35 and 17.
Okay, these 2 have only taken damage from the 35, 17.
Good number, 35.
Pretty number.
I don't know. Sounds pretty fragile to me.
It's fine. I got those temporary hit points.
Static, yeah, that would be you gone.
Yeah, I mean,
static fills the air as you hear a storm brewing incredibly quickly, and before you know what's happening, a bolt of lightning and a deafening blast of thunder from it hits inside the grove. The smell of burnt hair and flesh reaches both you and Hunter Red. One of them does not look well at all, and the other looks very hurt. But there is still malice in their eyes. They have nowhere to go, no escape forwards.
Hunter's got like a massive smirk on his face. he just holds his claws up that are sparking with lightning.
They're both coming for you, Hunter. They're both coming for you. They both jump to action. Right. First attack is a 13 and a 13. The first one comes in. You're able to push its snout to the side as it tries to bite you. And as it comes in for the second bite, you push it to the other way. The second one, though, with advantage, because you're in combat with the first, hits and hits true.
I'm going to cutting words that, Adam.
It's a crit.
Crit.
Oh.
26. Unless we make him use his reroll.
I've already used it, thank you very much.
We did that.
No, he was on 2. 2
What's
next.
that fuck?
Yeah, you were.
You were.
God damn.
I've been tracking it, buddy.
What is this game? This is the worst game ever.
The audience like us.
You can make me use a reroll if you want. Want me to reroll it?
It's up to everybody else. Yeah,
yeah, go for it.
I think, it was a crit. Let's
it's
get rid of the crit.
That's a 14. That's a crit again, actually. No, because he's got a crit again.
Oh.
There's so many.
It's a crit happy day.
This is a critical night.
Yeah.
Can you give me a DC 14 saving throw, please? And an 18 hits as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, the 18 hits as well.
That one I'll cutting words.
Okay.
I will just snap, sit down, and send an arrow whistling in his direction.
Okay. How much does it reduce it by?
Oh, fuck. 2.
Does a
I'll still hit.
16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Bollocks.
Can you take, first of all, 9 piercing damage, so 4. The
I'm
second...
taking 12 plus 4, so 16, so 8.
7. So 16 plus 7, 23. And 23 damage from the other one. On the crit, which is then...
How's it 23 damage
11.
on the other one?
So maximum damage for the first attack is 2d6 plus 4. So it is... And then I'm just taking the dice roll from it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then...
So...
You managed to stay on your feet, though. You see the 2 winter wolves biting in and true on him. Outside posse, you are all together. Nikolai, you can see the threat here.
Sorry.
So you've got Hunter, this weird chap you've met a couple of times. Peculiar man. Just getting mauled by these 2 winter wolves. Or these white wolves. Blood now on their fur as they've bitten into him. Behind a tree, you see this arrow zoom down towards the wolf, trying to put it off. You see this strange little wild child. You can't remember her name, but she was reasonably annoying. And a lightning bolt snaps down from the sky and strikes some of the wolves. To the north, you can see with a clear run at you and the strange little wild child, 2 more of these white wolves coming into view.
Are those? Is one of those 2 the one I attacked last round?
And he looks hurt.
Yeah. Okay. But the closest ones to me are the 2 that are already properly
Engaged.
in the circle.
Yeah.
Right. How close are those 2 together?
Shoulder to shoulder. They're fighting as a team.
Okay. I'm gonna. I say charge, but I feel like there's a better word for charging if it's like a meandering
Swagger.
swagger. But basically try to get round to the back of one of those, but like in between them.
Yeah. Happy with that.
And
you got 40 movement, haven't you?
45, yeah.
Oh yeah, 45, yeah.
But like an attack one of them, but like sort of tail pull, punch, sort of style.
Go on here.
Which is actually a thing that ravens do in real life. They pull the tails of creatures to distract them so they can steal their
You've
food.
got 2 options, one who looks quite hurt and one who looks very hurt.
The one that looks quite hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a 24.
Surprisingly a hit.
And I'm failing here. And a 20 for the second.
Yeah, a hit and a hit.
So that's 10 points altogether of bludgeoning, silver bludgeoning.
Yeah. You grab onto a tail, and as you pull it, you kind of punch it into the face as it turns round to try and take a snap at your arm. Your elbow then comes round the other side and meets it in the temple.
And I'm going to spend a bonus action to try to grapple it.
Okay. Yeah. So
I want to wrestle it.
Wrestle.
It's a strength check against each other, isn't it?
Yeah, it's athletics. Athletics. It's athletics. Well, you get advantage on it because you've got the Tome of the Bear.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
I got 22.
Oh.
And you are now grappled.
Yeah. You as you hit it in the side of the head with this elbow, and still got its tail, it tries again to bite you in the face as you kind of just stumble into it and wrap your arms around it, and before you know what's happened, you're on top of it, holding it down.
Cool.
Outside crew, Victor.
We still got a wolf on Ivan.
There's a very large wolf on Ivan, and he's fighting it with his spear, and you are eternally grateful that he is there right now. And you also, there doesn't seem to be any other wolves outside with you, and you can see that Martikov chap, who the bar lady who you like, the bar lady doesn't like. You would have heard rumours of this for sure.
He is going to be most concerned with the one on Ivan because it's also the nearest to him. So he is going to try and look that wolf dead in the eye and cause fear.
Ooh.
Nice.
So you need a wisdom saving throw, DC 16.
$17.
Nah, it does nothing.
You invoke the spell. As you've used this spell before on your mother to make her leave. Happy days. Should work on a wolf as well. Unfortunately not. You do see the wolf take half a step backwards as it shakes its head and its eyes then fixate on you for a second and then back to Ivan. Ivan, your turn, sir.
Right.
Remember, you've got advantage, Matt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first attack.
Yes, I'm stabbing it.
You see arrows sail down from the tree. You see Elian, Martikov there.
I'll kind of give a spear salute in the air just as I'm about to stab down, and then stab it. 23 hit.
Roll another one just because you get crit because you got advantage.
Okay, it might be. Nope.
And second attack. Unless you want to burn any more superiority dice to do anything fun.
Nothing that particularly helps me in this moment, so no, I shall just stab again.
6 damage from the first one.
And then 8 from the second one.
Yeah. Lots of very small jabs coming in from you. Normally when you're fighting a creature like this, you've got the advantage of numbers on your side, or height, and you can just rain down blows with your allies. Fighting such a creature one-on-one, it's a formidable foe.
I'm taking a more defensive stance because of it.
It's going to try and tear your face off.
Okay.
20.
Oof. I'm going to try and parry that.
Okay.
Ooh, so that's a 8 plus 2 from your
attack to hit. Oh, geez. So
reduce. Reduce the damage. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it hits you for 0 damage. As its huge jaw tries to lock into you, you're able to bring your shield up high with your spear across as its jaw latches down, but most of the crunch is taken in by the shield. Can you give me a strength check, but I'm going to give you advantage on it as it's going to try and put you to the floor.
Okay.
There's advantage anyway because of the bear.
Again. Sorry. 14.
But it does, with its pure bulk, and it locks its teeth on, it just sort of steps backwards and pulls you forwards as you hit the floor. Pain lances into your back as you take 13 points of piercing damage.
Oof.
As its claws pierce your chainmail shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Red.
Yes.
2 into... Oh no, they might. 1, 2, 3, they go for you. 4, 5, 6, they go for Elian. They're going for you, Red. The two winter wolves charge in.
Hoo-hoo. Both hit. Oh gosh.
The first one.
I'm going to cutting wolves that 15. Cutting
Cutting
words that
wolves.
15.
Yep.
Cut the wall.
Cut the wolf.
Cut
Yeah.
the wolf.
Reduce that attack to an 8.
Misses.
First one misses.
All the rest.
Second attack bites in true. Can you give me a strength saving throw, please?
Probably be terrible because my strength is -4.
I remember
You have
got-
advantage.
Oh, I do have advantage, yes. So, well, I'm only little, so of course my strength is 16.
16.
Oh my god,
Oh, crit!
it was a fucking crit.
You stay on your
Exactly what you
feet.
It was a
needed.
fucking crit. 16.
I'll let you stay on your feet for all of them because it's funnier. As the first wolf charges in and it lunges at you, you hear this cutting words from the tree as an arrow flies in. You see that the wolf understood it. Definitely understands common, at least. And is put off by the attack. Is put off by it. The second attack strikes true for 6 points of piercing damage. It
How many
wasn't a clean. It wasn't a clean strike. As you turn to face this foe, the second one comes in behind you, and 2 huge bites into your back. The first one for 14 points of damage, and then the second one bites you over. It gets its jaw like past your shoulder, half of your arm is in it as
I
it
am
bites in
little.
true. So
How many is that in total? Sorry, I missed it.
28 plus 6, 34
34.
points of damage.
Ooh.
It
Remember, you had
would
the
have
17 temp hit points as well. So it hasn't
would have
I've
gone,
already
if that
been
if that
into
13 would have hit, that would have been some serious damage.
So I'm on 41.
They are both Elian. You can see
And-
below you now that the combat is ready to turn either way. There are now 4 winter wolves surrounded the group. If one of them hits the floor, you know that they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Big wolf has been and attacked that. That's all of my wolves. It is
Yay.
your turn.
Woohoo!
So the Grove crew, you can go in whatever order you like, because it is you, then it is the 2 wolves which came out of the hole, then it is outside crew, and then it is the 2 wolves that came from the north. So I'm happy for you to go in whichever order you like. You don't have to any longer because there was 1 wolf in between you. That
Okay.
wolf's dead now.
Do you want?
Ian.
If I go first, I'll try and shift the odds a little. I'm going to pick on the healthiest looking winter wolf that's attacking
the
the group
north?
in the middle.
Yep.
And I will shoot at it. If I can find the right blimmin' button.
So one of the
7.
north wolves looks pretty hurt, and the other one looks pretty fresh.
The pretty fresh one.
Yep.
I'm going to hit it. I'm 17.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah.
Not hard to hit.
4 points of piercing damage, plus a superiority dice, a total of 6 points of piercing damage. And can it make me a strength saving throw? Ugh, it's fine. I'm going to shoot it again.
It stands strong on its 4 feet. These are strong creatures for sure.
27 to
Yeah,
hit
big
it.
hit.
I've got. I'm going to do it again. Can it make me another?
superiority.
Yep.
How
Let's
much
try
damage in
and
total,
tip this. Superiority 28. Oh, that's 9 points of piercing damage in total, and a second strength saving throw. Come on, Wolfie. Bollocks. Oh, well.
22.
Okay, never mind. I
What
tried.
were you trying to do to it?
Trip it up, knock it prone.
You knock it sideways, but with it having 4 legs, it manages to keep on its feet.
Yeah, it was an outside chance, but and then I'm going to action surge and shoot it twice again. We'll probably miss on an 11.
Yep, that is a miss.
A 13.
Is a hit.
7 points of piercing damage.
You've hurt it quite a lot in that turn.
I should hope so. I've shot it 3 times.
Yeah. 3 arrows now in its flank. But it stands strong still.
Damn it. All right, someone else go.
Hunter or Red?
I'll go.
Hunter, you feel surrounded. Glance behind you and you can see 2 more of these wolves mauling Red. In front of you, 2 of them fighting you, but Nikolai, of all people, is like grabbed one of them around the snout and is like punching it in the head repeatedly.
I don't think I've met him.
No.
I think the last time we encountered him was after
No, it probably was. Yeah, you're right. There's this strange...
I've just seen this other Valaki just kind of like this person dressed like a Valaki just start
a well-dressed Valakian in a cloak and some levers. You can smell the alcohol emanating from this guy. He reeks of it.
Right. So,
not even leather armor, just like quite nice leather clothes.
I'm going to try and rip the throat out of the first one that he's holding on to.
You're grappled, yeah? You got advantage?
That's a crit.
Yeah, that one is not looking particularly fresh, but...
Plus 5 is
fresh.
12 plus the 8. 20 plus... Do I roll 2 dice on my lightning now? On crits?
Yeah, it's all dice rolled of damage. I doubled.
So,
I believe. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, because that's why critidins are so powerful.
Yeah.
So 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus 8 is 21. Plus 8 is 29.
Yes.
Then I'll turn to the other one and clock that with my second attack. 14?
A 14?
Yep.
Depressingly a hit.
Does 15 points of lightning damage.
Still standing?
Oh, I'll do my last attack on it. Oh, I've missed. That's an 11.
Woohoo! He's still alive. He does not look fresh at all on his last legs. Red. You see Nikolai charge out towards you and grab one of the wolves. As he does, Hunter just grabs it by the throat and tears backwards as blood sprays forward into the group. You can smell the alcohol coming from Nikolai.
Nice.
Nikolai is still wrestling this thing as it's just lying out lifeless on the floor for a second. You see Hunter jump towards the other one and land first blow well, and the wolf staggers back, but the second one, which would have killed it, is not a true hit. You've got 2 wolves behind you. One looks damaged-ish, and one was looking very fresh, but you look up to see 3 arrows in rapid succession smash into the side of it as it staggers sideways and looks a lot worse for wear, but it's still on its feet.
I will redirect. Wait.
Yeah, you can put a lightning bolt down.
Yeah, redirect to the ones behind me. So, am I able to move back slightly?
They'll get an attackable opportunity on you. So I'll give you. Here's how we'll do it, because they're quite large, but it is a combat. I'll give you a D20. Low is bad.
Wait, hold on. Do halflings not get advantage when moving away from large creatures?
To your AC against the attackable opportunity, yes, I believe you do. Plus 4, I think, maybe. That might be gnomes. I remember someone does.
Sure, I've not. Where is it? There should be something down here.
These are large.
You can move through the space of any creature that is of a size larger than yours.
Okay, that's it then. Yeah, so you could run through its space. But I thought it might have been... There used to be an ability where like large creatures get reduced attackable opportunities against you because you're so small. I think that's Pathfinder.
Yeah. So I will move through its space.
Yeah.
Yeah, because halflings can do that. That's amazing.
If you move out of its space, it will try and bite you, though. You've kind of got this combat. Think of it not like a static thing, but as a dynamic. So you can move through where it is, and it can't do anything. But as soon as you try to leave it, it can try and bite you.
Okay.
Unless you do disengage.
In which case,
action.
forget it. I'm just going to call the lightning down on the 2 there.
Yeah, do it.
On that space there. So
give me a d20. Low is bad for you. High is okay.
8.
You're getting hit by it as well.
Ah.
Give me some damage.
Does it use the same one, or do I roll again?
Just give me the damage for it. Yeah.
Roll
New
again.
lightning bolt.
Damage.
What did I cast it in again? Was it 5th level I cast it in?
5th level.
Yeah.
I'll just do it as a cast again.
If red can move through their squares and to the other side of them, can she not call the lightning bolt down behind them?
So it's a 5 foot.
It's a
radius.
5 foot radius.
I'll give you advantage on the save. I don't like it being super accurate, if that makes sense. You're kind of in combat with them and you're like, lightning bolt here as all of this stuff's going on. You might misjudge it slightly, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage on the saving throw.
There's 42 lightning damage.
42 damage, lightning damage.
And it's dexterity. I critted.
Oh,
Mate, smashed it.
Flawless.
42 damage.
Just rain down. So even on half, that's ridiculous.
21.
21.
21.
Damage on half.
We should have had a leaderboard for who's caused the most damage so far in this campaign.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not fair. I came in like 2/3 of the way through.
Red is only just getting spells that deal a fuck ton of damage, so...
Did you say 41 or 42?
42.
2. So 21 at half.
And then 21 at half, yeah.
For one of them, you think you get the number on the nose. As it looks like it's going to stay to its feet. Just fall sideways. The one who saves looks on death's door but is still standing.
I'm still standing.
Is that an action to cool down, or is it a concentration?
It's a concentration. Yeah, that's a concentration.
Yeah, I think it's a bonus action as well. So she's still got an action to do if she wishes.
But can I really do anything if I'm maintaining concentration?
Yeah, because you can just do another spell. and
You
just
can
lose it.
use your action to cool down the lightning. It is an action.
Oh, there you go.
So you got a bonus action, so you can do a bonus action spell.
Well, a cantrip, or no, they're actions. I don't know if I've got any bonus action spells, actually. I think all of mine are actions.
That's
In the bonus action, you can do a little dance.
Dance. Be happy.
I don't think he's going to get a turn anyway.
No.
Because it's outside Grove crew first.
Shillelagh is a bonus action.
Oh no, there's one.
There's one fighting me and Monk.
So the one fighting you, Hunter, unless you've got a bonus action, Red.
I do not proceed.
Okay.
Oh wait, my trees.
Your trees.
Oh yeah, the trees.
One tree.
Yeah, we'll say they can reach it. They can reach the one fighting Hunter, but not the middle one.
I do not believe they have hit. A 9 and a 13.
13 is depressingly a hit.
That's 9 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, he's on 2 hit points. He's going to bite you, Hunter.
Okay.
A 25 and a 23.
Yeah, they both hit.
A 13, so 6, and a 16, so 8.
6 and an 8.
So 14 altogether.
And an 8. You see his eyes glaze ever so slightly more.
Oh no.
We know what's
I'm
coming.
I'm 1 point under, so I won't have to be able to. I won't have to take it because I then next turn gain that amount of hit points back.
Okay. Damn it. Yeah. Rage. A howl comes out of Hunter. But only just got you down to half hit points. Frickin' hell.
Yeah.
That non-magical damage.
And I'm fine. I'm still standing because I critted my save.
Nice. Outside the Grove crew. Again, you can go in any order you like. Nikolai, you're now kind of grappling a dead wolf.
I'm gonna keep grappling the dead wolf because I have not realised that it's dead yet.
We're helping.
Are there any other targets?
Yeah, there's
Look.
one that's just bit me.
There's a motherfucking walking tree near you, which is just to attack one of the wolves. Hunter, or this wolf hybrid man thing, lets out a howl into the night, and you see rage in his eyes. He is a feral creature, but he seems to be controlling it. There's a wolf fighting him. It's a white wolf, but it is now more red than white. It is just soaked in blood. You can still hear the sounds of battle to the north outside, and there's one wolf which looks on death's door, biting red.
Yeah. Right. I am going to.
You want this one?
I know, but I'm just checking my
Oh,
stuff on this. I like that you've already got that up for me. This is what you're going to do, Kitty. Right. I am going to let go of the dead one.
Yeah.
After a few seconds, I'm like, crocodile hunter style, and then sort of roll, and because I can get up.
Yeah, you can spring to your feet, I think.
Yeah. I think it's only like five movement.
Yes, it's really cool.
Yeah. And go in for a couple of like tavern brawl style punches directly in the face of the one that's still standing.
Okay, give me a roll to hit.
Oh, that's a 9.
Miss, and a second attack.
And a crit fail.
This time, as you take a swing for it, you do.
Wait. Red.
What?
Oh.
Crit fail.
Oh yeah,
Make the bountiful luck happen.
bountiful luck.
Re-roll it. Oh my god.
Re-roll
Guess I
it.
fall over
Halflings.
and then get up again. And that's 26.
Damn it.
What is going on
Just saw
tonight?
This guy fall over.
I hate this game. It's the worst game.
And just,
You
the, way I
see.
like, the way I like to think of it, one of the tree roots sort of went.
Yeah. You see, as Nikolai swings in, and the fist, as the wolf seems to be paying attention to Hunter and doesn't even notice Nikolai coming in, the fist just hits it, and there doesn't seem to be that much force or strength behind the blow. And then a bit of anger in you as you take another big wind up and a swing, and just nothing but air as you swing round and do a full 360, and a root just kind of pushes you up, and the force, you push through and headbutt the creature, which knocks it out, and then quickly get back up to your feet again, expecting to see the wolf in front of you, but it is unconscious, dead on the floor. Outside posse.
Have we still got a wolf on
still got a wolf.
Ivan?
You do still. It doesn't look particularly healthy, but it is
Is
you
it
guys
pinned me
full.
down, or is it like?
You're on the floor, so you'd have to use half your action, half your movement to get up, but you can do it without provoking an attack.
Okay.
I could get rid of it before you do that.
All right, yeah.
Victor will cast Blight on the wolf.
What does that do, please?
You need to make
what
a
the
DC
heck?
16 Constitution, please.
That 44 damage.
Need 2 if he passes his safe.
And also,
A
You
10.
did not. That would be 44 necrotic damage, please, Mr. Wolf.
Does this wolf just explode on top of me now? Into like
so
necrotic
Blight actually
pus?
makes them wither, because if it's done on like a construct, it's the disadvantage because it like kills plants and things.
So it's just extreme dehydrated all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right. As you see it, its eyes fix on you, Ivan, as you roll round to your back, and you can see glee in them. It has you where it wants you. The pain of its claws still reckon in your back. As you hear words of power coming from behind you. You don't understand pain, but you do understand when there is power to something. as it's got its teeth out, you can see its gums. They start to blacken. Its teeth wobbling in its jaws. Its eyes, the redness to them dropping and dying away. Its snout and its nose, you don't want to boop it anymore, as it goes a horrible kind of blood red, and you can see red running out of its nose, out of its eyes, out of its mouth, as it goes to let out a howl, as it brings its jaw up. As it goes to howl, there's this kind of awkward, horrendous blood gargle there, as it just keels sideways. As you see it starting to river, as its skin pulls back, and maggots start to crawl out of it incredibly quickly, and the smell of death and decay fills your lungs from... It smells like when you've left mince out for 2 or 3 weeks. Before your eyes, you see this creature fall over.
We've all done that.
We've all... Yeah.
Victor is like laughing as this happens. Like he's loving it.
Oh, I'm going to be rolling away from this thing.
You mean the corpse or Victor?
Both.
You can still see 2 of your javelins are in it. Oh no, one of your javelins is in it, and you can see a wolf on red still standing. And it's your turn.
The wolf on red, is that how that's a long distance off?
It from your distance here, probably about 40 foot.
I'll take a deep breath and then stumble to my feet, grab the javelin out, and turn and throw the javelin.
Oh, you can throw spears as well. Spears can be thrown.
Oh yeah, my spear. The spear doesn't have as much range though.
You might as well throw the javelins.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the javelin.
The spear is the thing you're using to fight with.
Yeah. I'll like stick my spear in the ground to pull myself up, and then grab the javelin from the dead wolf and.
Yeah, give me a roll to hit.
Both javelins, 2 attacks.
And one missed, remember, and it went too far.
Oh yeah.
One stuck in it.
Oh right.
Then I'll use my spear as the second one to throw it.
Okay.
Because I've got to save red. She's got my hat. And they both miss.
You could precision attack, maybe, Matt, if you wanted
to have precision attack.
Oh, don't you? Oh no, I'm looking at my sheet. Sorry.
I gave him a mixture, more of a mixture of defensive.
But I don't have any more weapons to throw.
No. The javelin sails by. I'll give you advantage on the spear.
Yeah.
It's a heroic move.
Oh, nope, I miss. There's too much stink in the air. It's like
no. Give me another attack for the spear. I'll give you advantage on the roll. It'd be a nice way to finish combat. No, useless.
I got all my good rolls out of the way right at the beginning, and I got 3 crits.
It's the smell of rotting wolf that's got to you.
Yeah.
He's gonna attack you, Red.
Hi.
Oh hi. An 18 and a 20.
Hit.
You see a javelin sail over the top of him, and then a spear comes flying in, but awkwardly spins in the air and the sort of just hits the wolf's side on, causing no damage. The wolf pays no attention to them and lunges forward, its claws and mainly its mouth trying to bite at you. First one hits for 11 damage, and the second one only for 7.
I'm not looking fresh.
Give me a DC 14 as he tries to drag you to the floor.
Is that strength?
No, actually, you're the only one in combat with him. He will bolt.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do indeed.
I'm going to go at him with the spear. So I'm going to strike out with... Where has it gone? The blood spear. 11?
Is a miss, but I'll give you advantage on it because he's just turning and bolting.
Okay. Dang. 26.
Is a hit.
So that's 7 piercing, but also magic damage.
Is depressingly enough. Can you roll 2d6 for me?
Oh yes, I can.
We need to I need to update your spear because it's a +3 weapon or +2 weapon now. +2 weapon.
Yeah.
So it's now +2 to hit and +2 to damage.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So
Pretty nice.
the first attack was actually a hit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And as you strike true with the spear, you see it dig deep and very quickly drain life essence or whatever you want to call it and put it into you for 7 hit points of healing.
Yay, that feels good. It's the first time I've been able to do that.
Yeah, sorry, we need to update the spear because it
cool.
it has been improved somewhat. I think I can edit it. There is quiet in the grove. The grove is like pretty destroyed. To the west-hand side is now like all churned up, and there's 2 treants just smashing on wolves. Up a tree to the east side, Elion is still perched with a raven near him because nothing got him. All of you inside, I guess, would be quite surprised to see who has just arrived. We finish with a little 10-minute roleplay. I know we're a little bit over already, but that was a pretty big combat.
Yeah.
Fine, my lord.
Done.
Yeah. Hunter, are you with us?
You see his wounds heal, and then he kind of just looks at you and nods. Yeah,
Okay.
and the glaze is gone.
Elian will drop out of the tree, scoop up Ivan's spear, and kind of walk towards him and offer the spear back. Walk towards Ivan and
sorry.
offer the spear back.
Red,
Yeah,
Whilst they're doing stuff, are the outside crew still in range? About 60 foot.
I think we're right outside, aren't we?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red is then going to very gently, very quietly cast mass healing wounds.
Oh.
I think you'll find I still have all 35
19
of my hit points.
I thought I might be able to get something to you, but no.
It's all or nothing with you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone gets 19 points of healing.
Nice. Big heal comes out from Red.
What?
Red, who's the drunk?
Someone from one of the towns we visited.
He smells like the Raven's house.
The poison drink that they all drink.
The tasty drink, yes.
That is very rude. I would point out
Well,
you've
when I went to your family home, first of all, it was literally poisoned.
really?
Someone had tried to poison your drink supply. It's all right.
Rude.
I fixed it.
Oh, thank you.
But it is poison, you realise.
When you removed the poison, didn't you also render it non-alcoholic as well?
Yeah, I think it was just the poison that got added in. That would have been very funny if it just got turned to grape juice.
What are you all doing here? Not that we're not grateful.
I'll take the spear and nod and said, we saw the Vistani making suspicious movements, and we followed.
Father
behind.
said we had to come.
Well, thank
We
you for
wanted to help.
thank
some
you
of
for
us
coming.
Who is he? And I'm pointing at the little guy, looks like the child now. Who's
He
the
doesn't
fuck?
know
So-
any of you. He met Jakul and Constance and Hessia.
Uh,
He literally doesn't know
think
any of you.
Yeah.
I like Elian was around Valaki like sort of 5-6 years ago, so you would have been a tiny child. You're still a tiny
He won't.
child,
He won't remember you.
but, yeah.
You
You
see,
might remember
What I know is the guard,
you see before
and not
you
by
this,
name.
this young man with kind of grease hair stuck down to one side of his head, sunken deep eyes, skinny
Draco Malfoy.
face, and pale complexion. like most people in Barovia are pale, but Victor is a new kind of pale and malnutrition.
It's almost luminescent.
Yeah.
He lets out a light source.
Just as you're talking to Victor, he would probably give like, you know, when people have got that kind of death rattle cough because they're unhealthy, you would get that from Victor just from like being out in the damp, cold air. This is not a healthy young man. And
Do I have
Ivan,
one?
you have seen both sides of a physically and mentally not a healthy, well young man.
He is very surly as well. Like he's stood there with like his arms crossed, looking at the ground, like.
Yeah, Ivan will not be standing close to him now that the danger is gone.
I saved your life.
I think you find that went both ways.
Everybody, this is Ivan, a friend of ours from Kresk. You've met Red, of course, and this is our friend Hunter. I'm sorry, I can't remember whether you're Alexei or Nikolai.
I'm Alexei.
Pleased to see you again, Alexei.
Can we incite that?
I think this is a well-trained lie. So,
Okay.
Unless you roll very high.
Quite happy to take that at his
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Yeah, I probably believe him.
Yeah, 16 not high enough. This is a well-trained lie. This is the lie you've told a lot, I'm guessing, Nikolai.
When in trouble.
Yeah.
And this is Baron Vargas's eldest son, whose name will come to me.
Why are you out in this?
Take your
Probably never.
time.
Yes, great. Good question. Why are so you saw the movements of the Vistani and came towards it?
Perhaps we should talk inside the grove instead of outside it.
Well,
We are inside it, are we not?
So we're
Yeah,
just
As
outside.
you make your way inside the grove, Red, you would notice that your tree ants have definitely been bitten up. Some of them have taken medium amounts of damage, but none of them look critical.
That's okay. They can take.
Oh no, they get healed by the mass healing word. So yeah,
Yeah, they would have got
absorb some
healed.
healing. Yeah.
She'll sort of
And
go to each and put a hand on them, and speak to them in Sylvan,
Yeah.
and they'll very slowly sort of sink their roots back in. So she's sort of like making them go to bed for a bit.
Yeah, they're glad that you're safe, and they go
How did
back
you
to
get here
their
so far?
positions.
Tree sons.
That's the question. Kind of looking at the drunk and the small child and the heavily armored bloke being like, didn't get here by normal means.
I'm going to sit down on one of the dead wolves.
The Burgermeister of God, what was he?
I like it.
Argus.
Balaki.
Baron Vargas.
Baron Vargas. He was wanting to put together a team to come to your aid. We are the advance of that team.
How many others are you? Oh wait, that was the big group and you were the small group. Right, okay, I'm with you now. That makes sense all of a sudden.
The sickly looking one is he hid us in our journey here.
Is it Julian?
Where's
It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Nikolai is finding it hilarious that nobody can remember Victor's name, seeing as he considers himself such an important person.
Well, if you will, spend all your time in an attic, just so.
where's your friend? The one with
and keeps interrupting him whenever he's speaking.
I hate everyone here.
This is
I hate
how people
everyone.
remember you if you spend all your time in attics.
Where's your friend? The one with the horns.
I mean, do you mean Jakul?
Yes, Saint Jakul and the paladin, Constance.
Yes.
It went towards Argynvost Holt.
Warn them about
The
it.
one who helped with the teleport.
There is nothing at Argynvost Holt, unless
What?
that.
Oh no, there's a newly resurrected collection of knights.
And that, and it point towards
I can see basically like a freaking
Yeah.
searchlight going up into the mist.
We did that, and they came back.
Cool.
That is quite something.
What teleport?
You came before, didn't you, to the house?
Several
You
times.
found me. And you had a friend with you. She was different. Not a human. She had like red skin.
Hessia.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
where
before.
Hessia's not here anymore. And I don't believe she will be coming back to us.
Hessia made a bargain to save our lives, and sacrificed herself to become the body for a demonic entity.
that is
far
now
as-
Barovia, I guess.
As far as we know, she is gone and lost to us.
He shrugs.
What is your mission here? Was it to come to the grove and save us, or something else?
We got told to come.
Is that insight format?
The youngest Vargas's reaction to news of Hessia's sacrifice.
Oh, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
You think that maybe Victor had a plan.
I see.
And is annoyed that she is now going to be harder to find, but has not given up.
I see. Mental note. Even if I remember his name, I'm still going to pretend that I don't. The question is, what now?
We need to warn the others as well if they are not here.
We saw the Vistani move from our perch. Bronwyn has gone to raise the alarm at Argynvost Holt. The
We
question
should
is,
probably go and check on them.
I think so too. With
Yeah.
the lightning, the Vistani will know we're here, and there's at least several holes in our defences. I don't think this place is as secure as it was. Probably not secure enough to hold against that many Vistani.
Red, you would be aware that when you've been to the Vistani camp, you have seen bows, which will severely limit your defensive capability.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got any choice anymore. I think we need to return to Argynvost Holt and hope they offer us shelter.
Will they though?
They are sworn to help those in need. And maybe that plus a combination of pragmatism will be enough for us to sway them. They are going to need every set of hands they can get. But regardless, our companions here have done nothing wrong. We should probably move while we still can.
Hmm.
The regroup would be wise.
Yes. I'm very tired.
There was to give you some context, there was a bit of an argument. Rahadin arrived, and we killed him. and the knights did not take kindly to it because we killed him fast enough to stop him attempting, well, to stop anything going wrong. And the knights felt that we had not given him sufficient chance or something along those lines.
Would Nikolai know who
Rahadin is-
Rahadin is?
What was that, sorry, Key?
Would Nikolai know Rahadin personally, or
You would most definitely you would have been told as a young man stories by your mother about the messenger, the lords,
Doesn't
and
Yeah,
you would
character
always
Yeah, didn't my throat get cut by this guy?
yeah. And you would always offer him hospitality and fresh mounts if he was seen.
Yeah.
And he, in the stories, he was like a friend of the Watchers. There's probably like a few tales of the messenger of the Lords bringing gifts to you at set times as well.
Wow.
110%.
Okay.
Are you sure he's dead? I'm kind of my hand on my throat.
Oh yes, my friend, don't worry about that. Hunter made sure of it, and as did, well, half of us.
Just point at the large wolf that doesn't have like heart, like its head's just hanging off. Like, the whole throat's been ripped out. Like that.
are you saying you lot, you lot here, you and you and you and you, and points at one of them twice, and you lot killed Rahadin?
Yes.
Yes.
This is bad. You know this is very, very bad. This is bad.
I mean, I didn't technically kill him.
I did.
True.
Anyway.
Things are kind of clicking into place in your brain now, Nikolai. These people you are currently standing with are as good as dead. There is no part of this where you want to be standing with them.
Yeah, I'll just stay. I'll stay here, and I'll let you know if anybody comes this way. How about that?
Well, I mean, it is nighttime. You are outside.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of lightning showing the Vistani where to look. I'm not sure this will go.
Fine. I'll wait for the second group here, where there's, and then points at the tree ends, where there's
You know what? That's kind of valid. If you feel comfortable doing that, you look like you can handle yourself. Either that or things just work out really well for you. It's one of the two. So, yeah. Okay. I guess.
And with that, he's going to stand up and wander off to be at the furthest reach of the grove
Elian will
and stay in sort of earshot, but like in the shadows of the trees, so that if anybody sees them, they maybe miss him of the group.
Victor?
He doesn't care. He just wants to go home.
Your mission was to find them.
Found them.
Found them.
Yeah.
This Nikolai chap. You remember him from somewhere. Lady Watcher. He was a horrible old hag. You remember tormenting her daughter for a while? They were fun. What happened to her? You find yourself thinking, who cares? You don't have to put up with her interrupting your study to teleport. Going to Argynvost would probably be a bad idea.
I think he'd be tempted to just turn himself invisible and bugger off home. Done what he was meant to do.
In the back of your mind, you're thinking, you don't want to get home too soon. Like, if you arrive by yourself invisible, that's probably a bad idea. Father won't be pleased.
Fine. I'll wait here for a bit with Nikolai.
Okay.
Ivan,
What is the plan?
Ivan would definitely go with them.
you've not found Jackal.
Yeah.
Come with us. Jakul will be pleased to see you.
Good.
I
You
will
guys
start
moving out?
and grab his pack, throw it on his shoulders, and just start heading towards Argenvost.
Hey, Hunter,
Yes,
where is your armor?
my good stuff.
Mhm.
Back with your friend when we had to chase down Casimir.
Ah. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. All right, let's go.
Red,
Yes.
as you step out from the druid grove, one final look back to it and a thanks to the land for the protection it gave you.
Mm.
There was little doubt in your mind that if you would have met this many wolves out in the woods, you did very badly. As you do a quick circle, you can see there are the best part of 37 dead wolves around the grove total.
Wow.
The majority of them are the smaller type, the lesser wolves, but they are still intelligent. If they could have swarmed you and got you to the floor, it would have ended very badly.
Thank you, Red.
Victor will be spending his time waiting in the grove by playing resurrection roulette, practicing resurrecting stuff, making zombies.
Mm.
Of it.
Father, I
Ahead.
want a dog.
You can
I'm having
see
10 dogs.
Argenvost
now.
Hold. You know, it's about an hour to get to it across open ground.
Yep.
You
Yep.
prepare to make the treacherous journey. Hopefully, all of the wolves died in the attack.
I mean, at least we won't get lost. Like, that's something, right?
And that is where we shall leave it for tonight.
That's great.
Ooh.
Whoop,
That
whoop.
was just a big scrap.
Yeah. Love that. Got to do my big
Well,
boy
since we got a big
spells.
scrap, isn't it?
Big spells came out. Please make note, NPCs, of what spells and abilities you used.
I did.
And players, which abilities and spells you've used and what you've got left.
God, next week.
Yep. Next week's going to be a little painful.
It'll be all right.
Aren't you on like half hit points?
71 out of 100.
Oh, no, wait. Because Red did the big heal.
Yeah.
Those who are just listening in the background, thank you for joining us. If anyone would like to give out a positive or negative, I may give out a positive or negative for next time.
I forgot to use my damn positive again.
I'd use my inspiration instead of my positive, so I'm just going to put my inspiration back on.
Yeah, happy with that.
I'll cross you off the list. Are the positives hanging on, Adam, or are we getting rid of them?
We've said before they don't roll over. Okay.
We'll have these ones hang on because it's
Okay.
going to be a big fight next time. I'm very tempted not to give out any positive or negative because I've got the feeling I'm going to get negatives for not uploading any episodes. I'm sorry. Work has been grim.
You do still have a positive, at least. So,
What?
Yeah.
There's a long
lasted a while.
list.
You got to remember, my friend.
Would you like me to remind you at the start of next session?
Yes,
I can-
please.
Yes, please read out the list.
Yes, I will.
Can I have Kitty and Catherine stay on for the end, please? We
Oh,
need
good.
to have a very quick conversation
Oh boy.
and see what happens. But thank you, everyone who joined us. It was a bit of a big scrap, but enjoyed it. We didn't get much.
So many
It was
ones.
good.
Not a
Good
bit.
roleplay. Good roleplay inside the chat. Right? Lovely. Next Thursday will be everyone back together for one
Yay.
big game.
Woohoo.
Cheers, everyone. Okay, cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Night night.
Night, night, night.
Bye.